Hey guys, welcome to episode 15 of the Pretty Girl Gang podcast. I'm your host, Nikki, and again, thank you for watching the Pretty Girl Gang podcast. Tonight, we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Pooh, but you guys might know him as Norman Neely, professional heavyweight boxer,
Yes.
knockout king, 17 and 1, right? So
Yep.
thought I didn't know this stuff, did you? He got a fight coming up June 6th, right?
June 6th,
June
Prudential Center.
6th, Prudential Center, so you guys need to go see that. So thanks for coming, Norman. We want to call you Norman or Pooh.
Pooh.
Thanks for I don't think he like Normans too much, well, so we just going to go with Pooh. Thanks for coming, Pooh. You want to tell the
problem.
people about yourself a little bit before we start?
My name Pooh. I'm from Patterson, as you guys know. My main thing is I got a quote that I always say. F your setbacks and come harder with your comeback. I don't know if a lot of people know my story or what, but I've been through a lot. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. So I'm on the path just to make my dreams come true. It's been a while. The road been bumpy in the past, but I'm still at it. I'm still going at it. And I'm still prevailing to make my dreams come true.
There you have it, guys. We have Pooh. I mean, Mr. Neely. Okay, Pooh. So when did you first realize boxing was more than just a hobby?
When I started seeing I started watching a show called 24/7, and it's basically about like boxers that haven't like it's called prize fighters, people that's actually making money and they actually seeing like you seeing what they doing with their money, investing, buying houses, and stuff like that. So that made me think like, wait, I want to turn pro and I want to not just fight, but I want to fight for money.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what every boxer like dream is, right? To make the big money you can in the sport. So. Yeah, that's something I started when I was young. I was watching 24/7. I always said I want to make that money. So that's what bring me to the ring, that money.
Yeah, you want that money. So what inspired you to step into the ring for the first time?
My uncle named Reggie, he actually brought me to the gym one time to watch some shows. When I say shows, I mean a boxing event. That's what we call a boxing event, shows.
okay.
And we went on River Street called Joe Guerrero Boxing Academy. And one day I was always with him on the weekends, like we'd go out to eat, etc. And then he brought me to the gym one day. He asked me like, "You want to come to the gym and watch some fights?" So when I went there, I took a liking into it. He thought I was playing because he always called me like a pretty boy or whatever. But I told him I liked the sport, and I actually went the next week. I went then the following Monday, and I just fell in love with it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So who are some of the fighters you look up to growing up?
To be honest with you, it wasn't really no fighters I look up to. I mean, it's fighters that I watch as far as that I like. Evander Holyfield, of course, everybody watched Mike Tyson, right? Of course, everybody they know about Muhammad Ali. Riddick Bowe. So the styles, when it comes to styles in the fighting, I like those styles right there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's nobody I really actually looked up to in boxing as far as saying like I want to be like him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what was the toughest part of becoming a professional boxer?
The toughest part that you gotta shatter somebody else's dreams and make your dream come true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. That's true. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that answer. What does a normal day of training look like for you? Because I see you on Instagram. I see you doing the rope, doing the jog, and I see all that. But you tell them what it's like for you.
In the morning, I go running. First off, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I go to the gym with my guy Caleb. He a fitness trainer. We get it in for about a little over an hour. Come back, eat breakfast. Then around like 12:30, I go for like a 2 to 3 mile run. And then I go to like probably the LA Fitness or Planet Fitness to lift some little bit of weights, not much. And then like around 5 o'clock, 5:30, I hit the gym, the boxing gym, and I do my boxing workouts.
Oh, okay. So how important is mental strength in boxing?
Very important. They say boxing is 90% mental and 10% physical.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, because I love boxing too. So I agree with you on that one. What sacrifices have you made for this particular sport?
Staying away from the good times, the partying, all that stuff that I used to love so much.
Yeah.
I actually learned the hard way one time. That's a loss that I actually got. But just about partying, I was always out. So, right now, that's my sacrifice. Not, I do go out to eat a lot, but as far as going to parties 2 days before the fight, to strip clubs and all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's my sacrifice right there. And I got to stay disciplined.
Oh, okay. So how do you stay focused before a big fight?
How do I stay focused? Look at my journal, and I reread everything that I want in life, the things I want to accomplish, and I know boxing can help me get there.
Okay. That's a good answer. Have you ever doubted yourself during your journey? Like, have you ever doubted yourself? Like, maybe that's not for me.
To be honest with you, yeah. Coming in the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to be at the gym by 9 o'clock. So a lot of times I used to say like, damn, this ain't for me. I like the nightlife.
Yeah.
I'm a nightlife type of guy. But I had to weigh my options. Do I want this or do I want this in life? And the truth of the matter is I want this, which is boxing, which is could get me what I want to get to, and I could help support me and my family.
That is true. So what's your proudest moment in boxing so far?
My proudest moment? My proudest moment. My first fight, that was my proudest moment because, unfortunately after doing, time in prison, I used to tell everybody, the close ones to me in there, that what I wanted to do when I come home and turn professional. So that was the proudest moment when I actually made my first pro debut, my first fight. I remember, talking to my mom, because I used to tell my mom all the time what I want to do, and I didn't know if she took me serious or not.
Yeah.
But I wanted to let her know that I changed, and I'll do whatever to change. And boxing was a good way for me to change. And then once she see me, boxing in the gym and all that, and then my fight, when I looked at her, before the bell rang, I just wanted to say, like, I told you, Ma.
Yeah, that's a proud moment for any mother.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he did it. This is what he said he was going to do, and he actually accomplished it. So any mom will literally be like amazed by that. So I know I would be anyway. So you started boxing when you were young, right? Like how old?
I was 14.
And before, okay, so you boxed when you was 14. So when you went to prison, how old were you?
I was 20.
Okay, so how did that affect you? Like, he was, you're boxing, going to the gym every day, working out, and then boom.
It affected me tremendously. I just, I started boxing at 14, 14, 15, 16. I was ranked number 1 in the country. And then when I turned 18, that's when I started like party a little bit more.
Yeah.
So around 18, a little bit of 19, I was outside. And when I was 18, I actually got charged with the case, but I was out on bail for 2 years until I was 20. And unfortunately, that's when I had to go to prison. Yeah.
So when you was in prison, did it change your vision of what you had for yourself as a boxer, or did it motivate you more to become that great boxer? Because, sometimes people go in prison and it's like, you know what, I'm just going to just thug it out. I'm being in prison. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about the outside world.
It motivated me more because it was times, I got friends now who make good money in boxing, right? Real good money in boxing. So I used to get this subscription called the Ring magazine. I used to get them every month for the year. And while I was sitting in that cell, I used to see, my comrades, people that I came up in the sport with. They was actually making their dream come true. So every time I was getting the magazines, I always look forward to seeing somebody that I know. And I knew a lot of people. Yeah. And once I started seeing them being successful, and I'm like, damn, I could have did this too. And I always think about the mistakes that I made, of course, like the pros and cons of things. And it just made me want it even more. Like, seeing my people, the people that I actually know, do their thing in boxing, taking care of their family through boxing, and making a better life for themselves through boxing, it just made me want more.
So how long did you have to stay in the prison?
6.5 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long.
Sometimes I think like, man, I did 6.5 years, but 6.5 years.
Yeah, that's a long time. So you should have came out like the biggest guy in the world. And
yeah, I was actually 290 when I came home. I was 290. I went in jail at 20. I came home at 27.
Yeah.
So I gained probably about 90 pounds being locked up.
Was it muscle or was it like fat? People go in there and get a little chunky.
A little bit of both, but more muscle. I was big. I was a big guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so that kind of turned you into like the heavyweight?
Yeah, I was actually I was fighting at 178 when I was an amateur. So that'd be like a light heavyweight in the
Yeah.
pros. But then when I came home, I was just too big.
Big to
Obviously,
be.
I was
Yeah.
290, so it was like, okay, I'm gonna try to cut some weight. That was around 240, 245, and after that, I can't go much lower than that.
Oh,
Without
okay.
feeling good. So that's why I remained at heavyweight.
Okay. So, what message would you want to give your young people watching you? Should I say?
Um, choose choose your friends and your surroundings wisely. You know, you're hearing it from a person that actually been through it. Like I said, I can't say this enough, and I hear this all the time. I don't look like what I've been through. I've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
That 6.5 years in prison as well it changed me, and I believe it changed me for the better because a lot of things, I look down this road and say, nah, I'm not going down that road.
Yeah.
Before, when I was younger, I just do it. But now, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that because I know the consequences that it can actually have on you. So for the young kids out there, man, just chase your dreams, choose your friends wisely, choose your surroundings wisely, and chase whatever you're trying to do, man. Make it come true because you could do it.
I always hear that. I hear from a lot of people that jail changes. Like if you go in there wanting change, it would change you. But if you
Yeah.
go in there just to be the same person that you're walking in the doors as, it's not going to change you. I heard that a lot. Like,
True.
so when you're walking in at 20, which you're like, oh my God, like that was your first bid, right? Or
Yeah, I never been locked up as a kid. Never had no juvenile record. None of that. That was my first time ever locked up. So it was crazy to me. I remember going downstate, and the first day I got down there, I was looking out the window, and it was just straight. I was in Yarville, and it was just all
oh
highway and
wow,
cows. So I just remember thinking like, yo, where the hell I'm at. But unfortunately, I couldn't go nowhere, and I
yeah.
just had to sit there and do the time. And yeah.
So how do your family and friends support you in your
What?
career? Like in your career, how
In
do
my
they support you?
career,
Yeah.
they support me. They remind me all the time, how I motivate them by
Yeah.
doing what I'm doing. How it seemed like it was over for me, but here I am still chasing my dream and making things come to reality.
Yeah.
I don't have to do the negative. I don't have to do negative things to do the things that I want to do. To get the things I want to get in life. They support me. They come to my fights. They talk about me. On Instagram, whether they say my name or not, they say some words on Instagram, some motivating things, and then they message me, letting me know that they talking about me.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of the clout thing. I never cared about the attention. I'm the type of guy, you know, not being funny, but I'm the type of guy. I used to be I'd be in the mall sometimes. Somebody might call my name, and I tell them like, nah, that's not me. They say like, nah, you the boxer. I'm like, nah, that's not me.
Oh wow.
And I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I'm just never been the type of guy to be big on attention.
Just super
Yeah,
humble.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But sometimes doing that, you need to really be like, it's me. Because it might be a fan that really need maybe some type of advice
you're
or
right.
something. Or maybe they're going through something at that moment and they see you and they like, you the boxer. And you're like, no, that's not me. And he probably,
You're 100% right.
So yeah, you're gonna have to come out of that, buddy.
I actually just started posting videos on Instagram because I never used to do it. So I had a friend of mine. He's always tell me we was actually incarcerated together too, and we always talk about things we want to do. And he just tell me all the time. He like an older brother to me.
Yeah.
He always tell me like, man, you special, man. You could do this, you could do that. And I used to think he used to just be talking, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he one of the main people, man, that actually support me in the most. He actually one of the more people that support me on the highest level, mentally.
Yeah.
Because the things that he put on my mind,
Yeah.
the things that he reminded me of and reminded myself of who I am or what I can do.
Yeah,
because actually, when you don't hear stuff like that,
Yep.
you forget who you are.
That is
you
true.
becoming the shadow. You actually getting your own shadow, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's good to have people around you that's
And he's
like
speaking
that.
life into you.
Yep.
That's a great thing. Like you need friends around you that's gonna speak life into you. That's gonna make you be a better person
Yeah,
every single
absolutely.
day. It's like nothing better than that. Like you got friends that
Absolutely.
just don't care. They don't care what you're doing, how you're doing it. Long as they able to get the spotlight off of you, they're fine. They're not pushing you to be better. They want you to be negative again because some people want your spot. So you know how some people don't say anything positive about you. They're like, "Oh, I hang with him," but they kind of deter you to do negative stuff. You know, like strip clubs and your parties and things like that. But they want the spot. They want you in the spotlight. They want to be able to share the spotlight with you, but they're not really pushing you
Yeah,
into
you
be
know,
better.
and you're so right because you just made me think about my cousin. I had a cousin from Hackensack, and you know, growing up, he was always a couple years older than me, so we never really got that close and acquainted. But recently we have, and he said a few things that you said, so it sounded like he was talking when you were just talking to me.
Yeah.
He's saying the same things to me, and it was like I was just so used in the past, of takers that when somebody was trying to give me free game, man, I thought he was trying to play me.
Yeah.
If that make any sense.
Yeah. No,
I
'cause
thought he was trying to assassinate my character. I thought he
Yeah.
was like trying to dumb me down. In reality, he was just trying to open my eyes.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And I appreciate it.
That's a good thing. You need to keep that person around forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you wasn't boxing, what would you be doing?
Trying to be a veterinarian.
You do. I forgot you do have dogs. So
Yeah, I love dogs.
you think you'll be a veterinarian?
Yeah.
That would be so cool. I can see you in your little white lab coat.
Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, I've been doing this since I was a kid. Like I'm the type that I can't see a hungry animal on the street. You know, a dog, a cat. If I could do something for it, I would. You know, everybody know me. They know how I am when it comes to animals.
That's
I love
so
animals so
cool.
much. Yeah.
I'm like that with deers. Like if I see a deer on the highway, I will literally be like, "Oh my!" Thinking he's still alive, and I'll be like, "Oh my God!" I want to cry.
You'll get out and pet him.
I won't get out and pet him now. I ain't on that extreme, but I just be like, dang, nobody's not gonna come scoop him up. He probably still alive. What is he breathing? He probably thinking about his mother. Like I be having all types of. I remember I hit a deer one time and I had to pull over and cry. I cried for like 10 minutes. I was on my way to work on 80 and I got off exit. I think it was 55, I'm not sure. I think it was Medimax, something like that. But I got off the exit and went around. As soon as I went around, a deer jumped out, tore my truck up, but he bounced back up. But I couldn't drive. I had to pull over on the highway. I cried for like 10 minutes.
You know, I was running down the highway one time, and I thought I hit a rabbit or something. And I felt
God.
so.
I would've
I looked
died.
back and I didn't see nothing, but I felt so horrible that whole night. I couldn't I was actually about to go out, but I couldn't because I felt so horrible just thinking that I possibly done hit a rabbit.
Yeah,
In
that's
the
like the
highway.
worst
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
ever.
it
Like,
is.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
It is.
Absolutely not. All right, so this is the fun segment. So,
Okay.
who hits harder, heavyweight boxers or life itself?
Life,
Right.
yeah.
Life definitely does.
Curveballs is crazy.
Yeah. It's the worst ever. It's like a hard hook.
Yeah, for real.
So, what's your pre-fight song or artist?
My pre-fight song, I like my Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
I think that's a lot of people like Get Me Soup song. Like,
Yeah, they say you like a song more when you relate to it, right?
that's true.
So it's like when you talk about being, in back of the bus, cuffed up and all that. I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember times when going to court from prison, I was in the cuffs in the back, they had us like dogs back there,
That's terrible.
chained up in a small area. And I remember thinking how I want better in life, and when I finally get out, how I'm gonna make a change for myself, and how I want to do better and be better. So a song like that, I like every time I hear it, like I actually play it all the time right before I come out for a fight. I vision, when I was in back of that van.
Yeah.
Like I put myself in them cuffs again. If that makes sense.
It definitely
And
makes
I
sense.
just and now it's like I put myself in the cuffs for that spare second, and then 3 seconds later, now I'm walking for a fight, and now I'm telling myself like, yeah, look at you, you're doing it.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
That's great
Keep it up,
motivation.
young boy.
Young boy. What's the funniest thing that ever happened during training camp?
During training camp? The funniest thing that happened during training camp. I got caught 2:00 in the morning eating McDonald's.
That's the funniest thing. If that's the funniest thing, then something's wrong.
I mean,
Really, McDonald's?
I mean, because
I know you're not supposed to eat it, but
look, all right, the funniest.
yeah, that cannot be the funniest thing.
The
There's
funniest
no way.
thing, you know what? To be honest with you, we be so serious in the gym. Like we laugh a lot, right? But when we train it, we try not to make no jokes because we want everything to be put to perfection.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, funny. I mean, maybe hitting my trainer by accident in the middle of the ring
That
while he
might
telling
be a
me to
little
do a
bit funny.
1-2, something like that.
That might be a little funny. So who talks the most trash in boxing?
What fighter?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Rolly Romero?
I don't think I heard of him.
Spanish guy. He talk a lot of trash.
I
Yeah.
might probably have to see his face because I know a lot of boxers, and I'd be like, "Geez." It was the other guy that was the worst. I used to think he was on like allegedly thinking he was on coke because he was like,
Oh, Adrian Boner?
"Oh no, he's definitely
Man, he crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy. I don't even think we're gonna put him as a fighter anymore. Like that guy is loose. It was the Puerto Rican guy.
he actually a good guy though. I know him from the amateurs.
Really?
It just, I mean, I guess people take the limelight in different ways, right? They react to it in a different way. But he actually a kind person who looked out for many people.
Well, it doesn't show. He just.
They don't show because the camera show what they want to show, right?
That is true.
But behind that camera, that guy helped out. He helped a lot of people without even mentioning it. Yeah.
Because he seemed like when I used to see him, like fighting or whatever, he's always seemed like he wanted to do the thing that Mayweather did, like talk a lot of shit and win. But then he'll talk a lot of shit and then lose. But then he'll start talking shit to Mayweather. This is the person you literally looked up to. So now you're talking shit to him, saying you'll beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
What are we doing, dude?
I wouldn't do that. But
So now look at you. You're on Instagram or streaming like belly the size of Santa Claus and you doing the Running Man and doing all types of shit. Like you literally was counting $5,000 saying, "Yeah, I'm back now." You back with Are you okay?
Yeah.
So that guy is special.
Yeah.
Like yellow bus special though, not like that. You think he'll ever go back to his old self?
It's a far fetch. I mean, I would like to see him do it, right? But I never want to say no because you never know what a person can do,
true.
right? I never want to count a person out, no matter what it is, who it is. I never want to count them out, no matter how bad it looked, because I don't see people that look like they wasn't supposed to come back and they came all the way back.
That is true.
So with him, I would just say I would love to see him. It'll be a journey. A far journey, but I would like to see him come back. It'll be a long way though.
Yeah, I have no hope in him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't even. He just make it hopeless now. I used to think that maybe he'll come back, maybe he'll get it together. But after seeing these streams,
maybe I get
he's gone. I mean, he is so gone, like gone. Like, dude, they need to just stop recording him. He has no peoples. Like his people do not love him. There's no way you can tell me. That is sad, but okay. I mean, hey, it is what it is. If you could train with any boxer in history, who would it be?
In history? I would want to train with Holyfield. I like Holyfield.
I wasn't expecting that answer, but that would be a good answer though.
I like them because I like, as a heavyweight, and that's like what I do pretty well. It's those combinations like a littler guy, and that's what he was known to do. And that's why he was so successful, because he fought like a little guy at a bigger weight class.
Yeah. Yep. Wow, Holyfield. Okay, that's a good one. So what's next for Norman Neely? I mean, Pooh.
My fight June 6th at the Prudential Center in Newark. That's what's going on right now. And hopefully, we waiting on some big fights that's supposedly be happening. In boxing, nothing is never promised, unfortunately. So, we just waiting for some things to happen. I'm in the talks of having some good fights, but I never want to say nothing before it's actually done with. I don't want to jinx it, I guess.
Yeah.
But right now, the next thing up is June 6th, Prudential Center, and that's what I'm locked in on.
I meant to ask you about Clarissa Shields. How you feel about her? Like as a boxer, I guess the Instagram person now. I don't know what it is that. Like I know her as a boxer, but now she's like an Instagram.
Okay, so Clarissa Shields, as a boxer, I think she's real good. I think she
just stay to boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? And now you're asking me as a person?
Yeah, as a person. Yeah.
As a person, I really don't know her, to be honest with you. I don't know her. I don't know her at all. But I know she's a real very good boxer. I watch her movies. I watch the things that she say that seem to be positive.
Yeah.
I know she had a thing going with Shadeja Green.
Yeah,
right?
I want to know about that too. Like, what did you feel about that? Those two, like.
It would have been a good fight. It would have been a real good fight. But of
Yeah.
course, I'll be, I'm Team Shadeja.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
way. So
Exactly.
it is what it
I
is.
was hoping, like, I was like, come on. Like, I was hoping she won her last fight. And I was like, I just wanted her to just to beat the crap out of out of
You know,
old girl. But that didn't happen. And I'm like, hopefully she come back stronger, better mind, mentally, physically, and,
she will. Shadeja, I know Shadeja for a very long time. We actually used to be close in high school. She a strong person mentally. She'll
Yeah.
be back. She'll be back better than ever.
Do you think they'll be able to fight after that? Because it just seems like Clarissa probably like, nah, I'm not fighting
I
her.
mean, yeah, right. I mean, I guess after a few good wins with
Yeah,
Shadeja,
I
then I
agree.
guess it'd be in the talks again. But right
Yeah.
now, it's probably not even a conversation right now.
That's
Because
true.
of the last fight. But Shadeja be back, and when she be back, she'll be back strong.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think she's a strong person. Like, she's
Yeah,
always
she
been a
is.
strong female. I watched her as she's like started and then like now, and I'm like, she's very strong. Like,
I
she
used to
just
go to I used to go
overcome.
to her like basketball games when I was like in high school. We was like real cool.
Yeah,
And I used to watch all the time. Like, damn, this girl, she different. And then she took that talent to the ring, and she different in the ring too.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I pray for her. I hope that she
yeah,
just literally come back and be number one and literally do all the things she need to do to
yes,
become
yes,
on
she
top again.
will.
I'm pretty sure she will. So, what do you want your legacy to be?
Um, don't let your past define you. I want to be an example of a person that had been through some things like I have, right? A person that have made bad decisions, wrong decisions in the past, and I'm correcting them by trying to do everything the right way, doing everything that I need to do. I mean, I'm not perfect, right? Nobody perfect.
Yeah.
But like I said, I got a saying that I always say to myself: if it's setbacks, it come harder, but you come back. So your past don't define your future. And
That
I
is
want to
true.
be a person that somebody could look at. Everybody go through things, but I want to be a person that people could look at and be like, he been through some things too, and he bounced back, so I could do it too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you about Gabrielle Garcia Perez. That fight you had in April, right?
Oh
Was it
yeah, yeah.
April. How was that fight? Like, how did you feel about that fight? You had a TKO win
Yeah,
over
it was
that,
a
right?
TKO. He
First round, actually.
yeah. No, actually, they got it as the first round, but it's actually the second round.
Oh, okay.
He he's a big boy. I guess I've seen a few people say, "Oh yeah, he was a big guy, a chubby kid," but that big boy was knocking people out.
Yeah.
He had 8 wins with 7 knockouts.
Oh,
A
wow.
lot of people don't know that part. Boxing, man, you can't judge a person on how they look, the color of their skin.
That's true.
How they body look. None of that matter in the ring.
That is true.
So my last performance, man, it was. I thought I was gonna get him right out of there, but when I started hitting him, he was just looking at me like. I was hitting him to the body, and I'm like, I wasn't even moving him at first, and
Oh,
I'm not used to
wow.
that. When I hit somebody, they move,
Yeah.
So when he was just looking at me when I'm hitting him to the body and I'm hitting him up top, he's just looking at me, giving me like a strange look, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a long night.
Yeah.
But then I wound up just pinning them combinations together, and I knew I was gonna get him up out of there eventually,
Well, yeah.
and that's what I did.
Wow. Okay. So, what was the hardest punch you ever took?
The hardest punch. It's crazy because it was the hardest, but it was the hardest punch, but it wasn't such. It felt like no, it was the hardest punch, but it didn't really seem like the hardest punch. If that makes sense. The guy he hit me kind of. It wasn't even a hard punch, but it was from a heavy puncher. His name is Gillet Zhang, and he got me pretty good with that punch. So I'm like, whoa.
Was it a body shot, face
Nah,
shot?
it was a face shot. I was just like, I was trying to trade with him. He's like a guy. He like 290, 6'6".
And you stood face to face trading with
Yeah,
him?
all the time.
Wow.
And one time he dunked me good. I was like, whoa.
Like, what made you do that? Like, I'm gonna stand face to face. I was like, that's
I
like
mean,
more of a move around the ring, body shot, then move back. Like,
I guess it's a part of being a fighter. I mean, if you in a fight, you in a fight. No matter how big the guy is, how small he is. How chubby he is, how tall he is, how skinny he is, it don't matter. So me personally, I'm a dog in the ring. I'm a dog in the
so you're
ring.
like
I'm
more
a
of
dog out the
a
ring.
brawl fighter, like brawling.
I'm more of a puncher boxer actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
like to box and show my skills, but I actually like to stay in the middle and fight too. Exchange
okay.
punches. I love that.
It was one boxer that used to do that. Oh, what was this guy? I mean, they used to hit him so hard. He'll be dazed, but he's still fighting. I forgot his name. He was dark skinned, bald head.
James Stoney? No.
No, he retired now. I'm glad he retired because he probably would have died. I forgot. I know I'm gonna remember his name later on. I know I'm gonna be so angry because I didn't bring it up. But he was like, oh God, I'm so mad. But he was one of those fighters. I'm like, I used to love to watch him fight because he was like an animal. Like he would literally just go toe to toe and just he'd be dazed. Like I've never seen someone dazed and literally just still fighting and just.
We call that game. Like he had game in him, which means like you keep going no matter what. And I feel like I haven't, and I'm not trying to go through them type of experiences, but I'm the
Ever.
type though. If I get hit, no matter what, man, I ain't backing up. I ain't running. I'm not running from nobody. I'm gonna stand there and fight you.
But I do think it's more dangerous to stand there because
It is.
yeah, like because you literally that's like life threatening for you for
Nah,
boxers.
yeah, it is. It's very dangerous. And unfortunately, that's the sport that we in. The sport that you're risking everything when you step in the middle of that ring.
Mm-hmm.
When you fighting somebody, them gloves, they actually feel like they harder than the actual
Yeah,
fist.
they are. Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I feel like the
Yeah.
glove is actually harder
more
than. I'd
power.
rather for somebody to hit me with the actual fist than somebody hit me with the glove.
That is true. Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's so true.
No, because they look like they're soft.
They small and they leather. Like yeah, so whenever
It stings.
somebody punch you, like and if you twist, if somebody punch you the correct way and twist their glove, that's what rip your skin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. I ain't doing that. So, what's your prediction for the future of heavyweight boxing?
My prediction, as far as fighters,
Just fighters in general.
heavyweight's always been on top of all other weight classes. I think the heavyweight division got a bright future. Some good fighters coming up. There's some older fighters that's still in the game that actually still can fight. And there's some younger fighters coming up too along the way that can really fight.
Yeah.
So I think the heavyweight division got a bright future.
Okay. I was thinking, it looks like fighting seems to me now, boxing has become fake. It's like, usually you can look at something and be like, oh, I think this person going to win. But then it's like, now it's like staged. You don't think it's staged? Like, it feel to me, it feel like it has gotten staged.
Yeah, because sometimes you probably, them how you call it? It's something, not a fundraiser type of fight, but it's somewhat like that.
Yeah.
Like it's fights that I believe, I don't know 100%, but it's fights that I believe that it's like they already know what's gonna happen before it happens.
Exactly.
Like they playing a fight. You got some people that's supposed to just blow some people out the water, and some way somehow the person lasts all 10 rounds with the person.
That's true.
And it's like it's scripted. I believe so.
Yeah, that's how I
so.
feel. I feel like it's so
believe
scripted
so.
now. So it's like it kind of makes you not want to be that
I get
interested in it anymore. I be like, we all know they're gonna pick the winner anyway. So if you whipping somebody's ass and they already know that they want this guy to win because so much money is on this guy, that guy going to win.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not betting on this because they're gonna pick this guy anyway. That's a waste of time, and I don't like to lose, so I'm definitely not betting. We're not doing that. So we definitely not doing that. All right. So you had a dream celebrity to spar with. Who would it be?
A celebrity? Spar with. A dream celebrity to spar with. Sound crazy, but LL Cool J.
What?
Yeah.
What? Uh-oh. You think he could fight? He seemed like it, right? He has that whole the shoulders. I don't know. He just seems like it, but
I mean,
with the hat on,
from
though.
the movie, I heard he actually can, and from the movie In Too Deep, you ever? That's one of my
I
favorite
seen that.
movies.
Yeah.
He looked like his hands is pretty sharp. So ever since then, I always wanted to try him. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, actually, I like him as a musician. I like him.
Yeah. LL Cool J?
Yeah,
A
LL
spark?
Cool J.
I would pay to see that. Like, he has the hat on, the Adidas pants on.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Oh, God. What separates a heavyweight boxer from fighters in other divisions?
We don't have to make weight. You could eat whatever you want. I wouldn't say eat whatever you want because all food is not good food.
Yeah.
But you don't have to make weight. So what I mean by that is that, a lot of fighters, a good friend of mine, Ian Green, he's like a brother to me. There's been times when before he fight, he'll light heavyweight or super middleweight.
Yeah.
There's been times before he fight where I know that, he got to make that weight. DJ, they gotta watch what they eat. I see them days before the fight. they face looks sucked in.
Oh, wow.
It's like they don't want to be bothered because they hungry. I mean, it
Yeah,
sounds
that's a
crazy, but
lot.
yeah, it's real aggravating.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I used to watch like the weigh-ins, and people be like, literally, you see their ribs, and you're like, how are they going to be able to fight when they literally?
You know what's crazy? Is the most of them people put on 20 pounds in one day. Like by the next day, when they fight, they 20 pounds heavier than what they weighed in at.
How the hell they do that?
Water, a lot of water, food. It put the weight right back on you.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That is
It
good.
is.
Yeah, I'll just stay. I'll be a fat heavyweight. I am not doing all that ever. Absolutely not. So, what's one thing people misunderstand about professional boxers?
That we all not violent people. That we all not aggressive people. That we don't walk around looking for trouble. That's the mask that boxers seem to have to most people. Everybody automatically, when people meet me, they never think that I'm a boxer. But once they do, it's like they get like a little
Scared,
and it's not like we in this as a job. It's like everybody got a 9 to 5. It's our
Yeah.
9 to 5, boxing. And unfortunately, we got to punch each other in the face for them
That's
to get to
true.
where we want to get to.
So your hands are legal, like illegal or legal? How is it?
They
It's
say-
registered,
they
right?
say, yeah, your hands are registered. Yeah,
Yeah, so they're like illegal.
Yeah.
So basically you can't have a fight outside of,
correct. Yep.
of boxing. So if you do have a fight outside of boxing, what's the consequences?
You can get in trouble. Somebody could bring you to court, and I don't really know the next step to that. But I know you
Yeah.
can get in trouble, whether you get a fine or whatever. But most likely you'll get a huge fine.
Oh, okay.
But me, I just try to stay away from the bull crap, and
Yeah.
I try to alleviate all the drama.
So have you ever had a moment in the ring where you was like, "Whoa, I'm about to get knocked out"? Or not even knocked out, but like, "Wow, I'm in trouble." Like, dude is that ain't feel right.
It's been said I never got knocked out, but I got knocked down one time in my life, but I got back up. So I have to get that straight. I got back up. Yeah, for real. There's a difference between getting knocked down and being knocked out. I've
That
never
is
been
true.
knocked out. But one time I fought this guy he was like an Olympian from the Barbados. I remember shaking his hand at the weigh-in, which is the day before the fight, and I'm like, as I shook his hand, my hand like suck his hand. Like his hand was so big, he made my hand disappear. My hands
yeah.
is pretty big. So anyway, they say like, dudes that have big hands that hit hard or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the case might be. Whether it's true or not, I really don't care. But that particular person, that was true because the next day when we fought, it was the first round. He had caught me with a punch, and I'm like, whoa. And I fell back to the ropes, and I felt like I was trying to get myself back together.
Yeah.
But he hit me real hard, and I'm like, oh, John. Like I started thinking like, nah, man, I can't go down. Then I wound up counter punching him with an uppercut. Then he wound up falling.
Oh, wow.
And then he got up, and then I wound up knocking him out.
That's the funny thing. People that usually hit really hard has a weak chin.
Yeah, that's
You
what they
notice
say.
that?
Yeah,
And if
they always say that.
Yeah,
Yep.
people who hit hard will usually have the weakest chin ever.
Just like aggressive fighters. It's a saying too. Like that's one saying, and then another saying is that a bully don't like to get bullied. So what I mean by that is like aggressive fighter who like to stay in and be the tough guy. Once you be that person to them, they
Yep.
back out.
They don't like that,
They like
yeah.
a whole nother fighter.
Yep.
They just start.
Now they want to actually be an actual boxer. They don't want to
Exactly.
brawl no more
Yep,
because now you're
exactly.
brawling and you're hitting
Exactly.
me with too many shots right now. So
Exactly.
you're doing what I do. So now I'm gonna be
Exactly.
now I'm gonna be a boxer. That's crazy. So what's the ultimate goal in boxing? Championship belts, legacy, or something bigger?
To be honest with you, success in any form of way. I used to be big on the belts and all that, right? But there's a lot of politics in boxing. It's not that easy, especially like for us. It's not that easy to get a belt. You got people that's top fighters who've been chasing the belt down for years, and they deserve a title shot and deserve to have the belt, but it haven't gone their way for political reasons.
Yeah.
So I put that to the side. To me, it's about just put myself in a situation to where I could say boxing made something good for me as far as being able to do, support my family. That's success for me. So to support me and my family,
Yeah.
that's success. And that's what I'm looking for in boxing, success.
Okay. So what advice would you give someone chasing their dreams right now?
No matter No matter how bumpy the road is, no matter what you've been through, no matter how many times you know, things got delayed, keep chasing your dream. Don't let nobody stop you. After your setbacks, come harder with your comeback because you can do it.
Good job. All right, so again, we're at the end of the segment. And
Already?
Already? You late. Because he told us something already. He was super late, guys. It's like 15 minutes late. CP time. You know how that go, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But it was a great interview. I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you for coming out here and sitting on my couch.
No problem.
And
Thank
then
you for having me.
We can actually, you know what? Besides June 6th, is it any dates prior to that, or anything you're doing prior to that? Besides,
No.
like maybe parties, hosting, or anything like that.
Somebody hit me up to do a party host, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so give everyone your IG and how they can look up your information. And
Yes, my name is on Instagram. I know I should change it to my real name, but it's mellow and humble _22. So it's mellow _humble _22. That's my Instagram. Look me up, hit me up. You know.
Do you only have Instagram? Do you have like?
Yeah, I only got Instagram. I'm trying to get on the social media thing, but I told you, to be honest with you, I never was like a big fan of the camera stuff, which is good. I mean, especially nowadays, right?
That's true.
So I'm becoming more of a fan of it. I don't have a Facebook. I had a Facebook when I was long years ago, but I don't know the password to it. But right now, all I got is Instagram. Yeah, I know. All I got is Instagram.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on the Pretty Girl Gang podcast. We appreciate you. We're happy you're here. So anything you have coming up next, or you want to come back, be a special guest host.
I love to come back.
Yeah.
Good people. It's always good to be around good people.
We'll definitely have you. So, okay, guys, this is the end of the show. Again, we want to thank Pooh, a.k.a. Norman Neely, for coming through, blessing us on our couch. Again, we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to go on YouTube, subscribe, share, like, go on the website, buy the merch, you know, do everything you need to do to support the cause. And we'll be here again. Pretty is a mindset, and the gang is forever. See you guys next week.